So consider the sum: an environment that suppresses voltage and a pace that suppresses recovery. The two together, not either one alone. And what does all of this add up to? A low voltage condition, or at the very least, an environment that suppresses voltage, hour by hour, day by day, year by year. Because voltage in the body is not a static number. It rises and falls with what the body is exposed to. Sunlight lifts it. Grounding lifts it. Movement lifts it. Sleep lifts it. Clean water lifts it. And artificial light suppresses it. Insulation from the earth suppresses it. Chronic electromagnetic exposure suppresses it. Sedentary hours indoors suppress it. When a human being lives naturally, moving in daylight, touching the ground, sleeping in the dark, drinking water that has not been stripped of its structure, voltage runs high. When a human being lives the way most of us actually live now, exposed to the modern environment and driven by the modern pace, voltage is always in question. And it is not getting better. The electronic age is deepening, not softening. Every year, more devices, more screens, more signals, wireless everywhere, networks growing denser. The ambient electromagnetic environment we walk through every day is more crowded than it was 5 years ago, and it will be more crowded 5 years from now. And the pace is not softening either. Every year, faster cycles, shorter attention, smaller windows, more things demanding a response in the same 24 hours. Artificial intelligence is compressing what used to take a week into what now takes an afternoon. And the workload is not shrinking to match. It is expanding to fill the space. Both curves are pointing the same direction. More exposure, more acceleration, less recovery. There is no realistic path back to the world our biology was designed for. The forest is not coming back into the office. The bare earth is not coming back under the floor of the apartment building. The candlelight is not replacing the LED, and the calendar is not going to slow down. The environment has changed, the pace has changed, and both are going to keep changing in the same direction. If nothing changes, low voltage becomes the baseline. Not a diagnosis, not a condition, just normal. The ordinary state of an ordinary person living an ordinary modern life. A whole species running below the electrical potential it was built to hold and calling it fine, because everyone around them is running there too. Think about what that costs. Not just tiredness, not just poor sleep, cellular repair that never quite completes, cognition that never quite sharpens, recovery that never quite finishes, 100 small deficits that never rise to the level of illness and never fall to the level of health. Every one of them accepted, because there was never a number attached to them. That is the loss, not a catastrophe, an opportunity quietly abandoned. For the first time in human history, we can measure the electrical state of a living cell, and we're on course to spend that capability describing a decline instead of reversing one, which means the question is no longer whether the environment supports your voltage. It doesn't. The question is, what do you do about it? The answer is not to slow the world down. The world is not going to slow down. The answer is to meet the changing times with technology built to match them. If the environment is more artificial than it has ever been, the tools that support the body have to be more advanced than they have ever been. If the pace is faster than it has ever been, the recovery has to be more efficient than it has ever been. If the exposures are more constant than they have ever been, the interventions have to be more precise than they have ever been. You cannot meet an accelerating world with the wellness practices of a slower one. You meet a changing world with technology equal to the change. But there is a condition on the answer. It has to be natural. And it has to be convenient. Because a solution that fights the way you live
will lose every time. You will not move to the woods. You will not give up the phone. You will not unplug the house. Anything that asks you to becomes one more thing you fail at, and one more source of the exact stress it was meant to relieve. The world is engineered, accidentally but thoroughly, to lower your voltage. Every floor, every wall, every screen, every deadline. So the answer has to be engineered too. Deliberately. It has to work with the life you actually have. Minute, not hours. In your home, not away from it. Something you use because it is easy, not something you endure because it is virtuous. That is the whole design brief. Raise voltage in the world as it is without asking anyone to leave it.